We are going to be looking at some disturbing videos, strange and odd news stories, and as always, let's go ahead and get right into today's video. So we definitely have quite a few things to talk about in today's video. For example, this man walks into a furniture store, and this would lead the employees down a very dark and disturbing rabbit hole. But before we go ahead and get into that, I do want to go ahead and talk about this story. In this first segment, this news clip is without a doubt a doozy that we all should be talking about.
Just breaking tonight, wildfire devastation into opportunity. Lawmakers in Sacramento just decided to pull the plug on a new plan that's been very controversial today to transform fire-scorched land into affordable housing. Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf is live with us with the late-breaking developments on this. Matthew.
Well, most of the damaged lots in Pacific Palisades look like this, just empty, but many people are now worried what could happen to them. An eerie silence in Pacific Palisades, with lots listed for sale and controversy swirling.
It's irritating to think that other people are going to make decisions about what gets built.
Aileen Howe is one of thousands of residents closely watching Senate Bill 549. The proposal, already passed by the state Senate, would allow LA County to make a so-called Resilient Rebuilding Authority group. The goal would be to address housing shortage issues, but it would also buy fire-destroyed lots and rebuild a percentage of them as low-income housing.
It does sound quite a bit like Big Brother deciding what's good for all of us.
We had some low-income housing and we had affordable housing. We want what we had on January 7th.
Jessica Rogers is president of the Pacific Palisades Residents Association.
They're asking for a land grab.
When she heard about the new possible law, Jessica wrote this letter voicing opposition to lawmakers. In less than a week, it's been sent more than 22,000 times.
This is a rebuild. This is not a politicians get to decide a pet project on what they're going to do in the Palisades.
LA Mayor Karen Bass sent a letter to State Senator Ben Allen expressing opposition to SB 549, while California Governor Gavin Newsom tweeted the claim that the governor wants to bulldoze fire victims' neighborhoods and replace them with affordable housing is absurd. Late Wednesday, Senator Allen sending out a statement saying he appreciates the feedback and that it would be best for us to pause the bill until next year to give us more time to see if we can get it right.
Just give us our homes back and protect us from fire.
So that bill now on pause until next year, but many people here still watching very closely. We're live tonight, Matthew Seedorf, Fox 11 News.
So yeah, the California lawmakers, they are trying to pass Senate Bill 549, which essentially, if people lost their homes in a wildfire, no matter the type of homes they are, the government, they can come along and buy up their property with or without their permission and rebuild whatever they want. And in this case, they are saying affordable housing. The reason why the California government is doing this happens to be because the areas that the fire had overtaken were very wealthy areas, and the people who lost everything, homes and so forth, they are taking a little bit longer to rebuild than what the government likes. And the California government, they believe that this property should be used now and for everybody that they see fit, no matter their income. So I see this as either one of two things. Because California has an illegal immigration problem, they are using this affordable housing to fill with illegal immigrants, or two, this is a red herring, and what they're actually doing is rebuilding this whole thing into a giant smart city. Because the government, they don't want to come right out and say that, well, we're going to go ahead and pass a bill where if people lose their homes in a fire, we can buy up all the property and now turn it into a smart city. Because basically then it would confirm every conspiracy theory out there when it comes to these very suspicious wildfires. So what they're going to go ahead and do, they're going to go ahead and tell everybody, oh, we're going to go ahead and build affordable housing here. They're going to wait till some time passes. People are going to forget about it. It's going to be swept under the rug. And the next thing you know, this location will again be turned into a smart city. Kind of like what they're doing with Maui and the 2040 Healy Mai agenda. This gets a little bit more interesting because there was a concert that was hosted by Fire Aid to raise money for people who lost everything in these fires, victims of these fires. And they were able to raise over $100 million. Well, 6 months later, the residents who lost everything are asking, well, where's the money? Reading this article from Yahoo News, which again was published on July 17th, it goes on to say Fire Aid, a celebrity-packed concert held in January, raised an impressive $100 million for victims of the Los Angeles wildfires, but now 6 months later, residents affected by these fires are asking where exactly the money has gone. This article goes on to quote this independent journalist, James Lee, on X. This benefit concert might be one of the biggest scams in disaster funding history. Thanks to Lee and Sue Piscoe, and investigative journalists, for circling the news. We now know that fire aid funds have not gone directly to residents, but instead to nonprofits selected by a charity based on the other side of the country. But has it? Has it gone to charity? Let's go ahead and go back to that news article from LAMag.com, which talks about how the government, they are going to go ahead and buy this property that was hit by this wildfire and turn it into low-income housing. Because this part right here is very interesting. Separate from the legislation, Governor Gavin Newsom, that the state has also allocated $101 million in taxpayer funds to expedite multifamily low-income housing development to help those displaced by the fires. So I'm not saying anything here, this could just be a coincidence, but $100 million was missing from this fundraiser. The victims, they did not get any money, and yet Governor Gavin Newsom, he has $100 million to go ahead and expedite the building of this low-income housing. I said, Some of you may be saying, well, wait, can't these people who lost homes in these fires just buy one of these homes at this low-income housing for a lot less than what it would cost to rebuild a home on their property? And the thing is, when it comes to low-income housing, you have to be at a certain money bracket to qualify. And given the fact that a lot of these people had money, more than likely, they won't qualify for a low-income home. Now, this is just in California. There are instances where rich people can buy low-income homes and live in them, but again, they got to abide by these state rules. So it's going to be very interesting to see how California will play this out, given the fact they do have strict rules on who can buy low-income homes. So essentially, a wildfire had come through, destroyed all these homes. The government, they are buying this property and doing whatever they want with it because they will pass this bill. Yes, it might be at a pause now, but I'm sure they're going to go ahead and tweak it and then go ahead and pass the bill. And like I said, more than likely, we're going to go ahead and see a new smart city. This is probably one of the best examples. This and Maui are probably some of the best examples as to why we should look at each and every one of these wildfires as suspicious. Some of you may be saying, well, it's just California, but I would strongly rethink that. As I had said before in multiple videos, every location around the United States, basically around the world, but almost everywhere in the United States has a long-range transportation plan, which is essentially the blueprint for a smart city. When it comes to this news clip about this bill, if you read a lot of these comments, the people, they are fully aware of what's happening here. For example, the fire seems so convenient. This was the original plan, fires not accidents. It's like they ran out of water at just the right moment, and that is true. Same thing happened with Maui. They all seem to have ran out of water at just the right moment. When it comes to the bill being on pause, this person said, on pause, folks. They want people to forget you heard about this land grab so they can let time pass and then revisit this unbeknownst to residents. Resilient Rebuilding Authority, which is what this is called, sounds like a name created straight out of the CCP. I don't think this is straight out of the CCP. I think this is straight out of the WEF, the World Economic Forum, which the CCP, among other countries, are a part of. This is crazy, but it's not shocking. It's not shocking one bit.
Dealing with a myriad of issues. I was just talking to Josh Green, the governor down in Hawaii, who had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties, and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward, and we'll be presenting those in a matter of days, not just weeks.
In this next disturbing video, this individual, he walks into this furniture store and he makes a very unusual request. He wanted to buy a bunch of bunk beds, and his question was how many children could fit in each bunk bed. The employees decided to make a video when they dug a little bit further into this individual.
What was his name?
Emery D. Gardner.
Emery D. Gardner? Mm-hmm. Show me his page again. So what did he come in and do, Daniel? What was this guy doing?
He came and asked if we carry triple bunk beds and if we had them in full sizes and how many kids if he could fit at least 3 kids in each bed. So 4 times 3.
That's a lot of kids.
About
so
30.
4 bunk beds?
4 triple bunk beds.
All right. That fit
That fit
three per bed?
3 per bed.
That's crazy.
36 kids, I think.
All right, let's see. It seemed odd, so we went and looked. It's so slow. Gardner Emery. Weird.
Guess that's a small one.
So this is Fort Worth Police Department. Mr. Emery. He's what? What the hell did this freak do? Level 2 sex offender. That's crazy. Show us the house. Is what on Google Maps?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the front of his house. Bars. All in the windows. Weird. Show the back though.
I can have you show this. Nope.
Another one.
What's the fucking address?
That's nuts. Hell no.
Bars on the windows and everything. All that's closed off.
And this guy wanted how many mattresses and beds?
12.
Hell no. Damn, age of victim at time of crime 16, male. You nasty son of a bitch.
Oh.
Even in the back there's bars.
Yeah. Like a fortress.
So, in the most recent update, the police get involved. They contact the employees. The police, they go to this man's home. Now, they must have found something. They don't say what, because when they went out to this man's home, they had arrested him.
Update on the psycho freak that came to the furniture store. Fort Worth police came by today and said he is arrested. He's locked up. He's not on the streets. So, good job, everybody. Update on the psycho freak that came to the furniture store. Fort Worth police came by today and said he is arrested. He's locked up. He's not on the streets. So, good job, everybody.
The original creator of this video, who is this individual right here, also said that come to find out 2 predators live there about a half a mile from the elementary school. So here's the thing. He planned to buy all these bunk beds for all these kids, even asking how many kids could fit in each bunk bed. But the question happens to be, where is he going to get all these kids from? Because in a lot of these cases, these rabbit holes run very deep, and a lot of these predators could be working for some organizations. Then I saw this news story over in California that happened just very recently. Now, I'm not saying there's any connection, but it's quite interesting, the timing. This article, which was published on July 16th by ABC News, authorities take custody of 21 kids in California while surrogate moms claim couple misled them.
Meantime, we're following developing news in Arcadia where police say 21 children are now in protective custody. Their parents and nannies are accused of child abuse. Many of those children were allegedly born by surrogate mothers who are now coming forward with concerns. NBC4's Brittany Hope is live at the home in Arcadia where all of those children lived. Brittany, you just spoke one-on-one with police about this unusual case. What are they telling you?
Yeah, good morning, Annabelle. Police tell me that their investigation on this started back in May when a 2-month-old baby was brought to the hospital with head trauma, and the medical staff there thought that child abuse may be involved, so they called police. Well, when police got a search warrant, they came here to this house and they tell me what they saw inside and everything they witnessed, they knew there was something seriously wrong.
We have been in contact with the FBI. We are working with them. When we first were out there, we recognized that this was going to be something beyond the scope of our local investigative abilities. So we reached out fairly quickly to them.
38-year-old Sylvia Zhang and her husband are accused of child endangerment and neglect. They are the parents of the 21 children. Police say surveillance cameras they found inside this house reveal mental and physical abuse of the children living here, allegedly done by the 6 nannies who cared for them. And police believe the parents knew about that abuse but didn't do much about it. At the same time, there are concerns about the surrogates who gave birth to the children. At least one surrogate came forward from Texas saying she thought she was carrying a child for a couple who was struggling to conceive and only had one child. We asked police how many surrogate mothers there are, where they're from, and how these children got to Arcadia.
That'll be part of the long-term investigation to see kind of the origins of where these children were all born, contacting surrogate mothers, and to see what kind of the backstory is on that. And again, that'll be something that we work with our federal partners, because we believe that this extends beyond our city limits, possibly throughout the rest of the country and even internationally.
Police say they're now looking for this woman on your screen. They allege she is one of the 6 nannies who allegedly committed child abuse and was seen on camera with the 2-month-old baby. Now, police tell me as of this morning that baby still is in the hospital. 2 months later, they don't know what its long-term prognosis will be. Now, police also tell me that one of the older 21 children, was enrolled in the local school district. I reached out to the district and I haven't heard back. Now, as of this moment, we know that all 21 kids are still in that protective custody. We reached out to DCFS about the case, but of course they said they can't comment on it. Looking forward, police say that they do believe to have an update along with the DA in this case in the coming weeks. Reporting in Arcadia, Brittany Hope, NBC4 News.
All right, Brittany, thank you very much.
So is it very possible that this man was trying to set up some kind of surrogacy scam or adoption scam, all to get children, either to abuse them himself, traffic them, or who knows what else? And also around the same time, this news came out back on June 16th, and I'm reading this article from 6KWQC. 88 children placed in protective custody after investigation at church camp.
New tonight, we are hearing from the organizers of a religious camp in southeastern Iowa where 88 children were removed last week. KCCI's Pepper Papura is in studio tonight. Pepper, the folks there say nobody was in danger.
They did, Stacy. Louisa County Sheriff's Office says they removed the children after reports of child abuse and endangerment were made at the Shekinah Glory Camp. It's hosted by the Kingdom Ministry of Rehabilitation and Recreation in Fredonia. The church's website says the camp was scheduled until the 29th. Law enforcement searched the property on June 12th and 13th. They're now conducting a human trafficking investigation. However, the minister's son says the children were never in danger. He says no one from the church has been arrested and blames the search on a call to police that one child made because they did not want to be there.
Was that child harmed in any way?
No, we never harmed that child. We loved him. We bought him shoes. We bought him shoes. We bought him like $400 shoes, clothing, everything.
And the children at that camp were from families across the country, so they were placed in a temporary protective custody until they could be picked up. All of the children removed from that site are now reunited with their families. Ben.
All right, still a lot of questions, I think, that we'll work to get answers to. Pepper, thank you.
This operation took place between the 12th and 13th of June after this child had called police. Now, there has not been any updates as of yet as to what's taking place inside this church camp, so we don't know if there's any trafficking or not. But I do have to say, it is very weird that they did go ahead and buy this child a $400 pair of sneakers or shoes, right? Like, I can see a church buying a child a pair of sneakers if they're in need, maybe spending, $100 maybe, but $400 for a pair of sneakers, I don't know, that sounds a little weird. But going back to that man who was trying to buy all those bunk beds, it definitely sounded like he had some kind of operation in mind that did indeed involve children, trafficking children, and there may have been multiple players involved. In this next disturbing segment, if you are not aware, there are currently a lot of hacking incidents taking place, and some may even say these hacks are coming from within. This video comes from the AR Brief. I'm going to go ahead and play his video, but something else very interesting also happened around the exact same time, which I'm going to go ahead and get into myself.
Alright everybody, we have breaking news as it's just been reported that multiple United States federal agencies have just been hacked, in particular through their Microsoft SharePoint system. Now, it is being reported by the Washington Post that at least 2 servers of U.S. federal agencies have been breached by hackers. Additionally, hackers have allegedly exploited a critical flaw on Microsoft servers, giving the attackers backdoor access to U.S. federal and state agencies, as well as energy firms. Now, this comes as a slew of hacks have occurred. We all know the Grok AI hack or miscommunication that it was going through. Additionally, we know the Elmo hacking that happened. Now, all of these hackings are occurring kind of relatively within quick succession of one another. So it's interesting to see how the United States is going to handle future cyber.
So like he said, there are multiple news articles out there about these multiple things currently being hacked. And like I said in my last video, there are people coming out when it comes to their Ring cameras and saying that there are web browsers, computers, phones accessing their Ring cameras that do not belong to them, believing that Ring is currently also being hacked. But when it comes to this Microsoft security issue, and I'm reading this article from Forbes.com, hackers exploit Microsoft software vulnerability to reportedly target governments and businesses. What to know? Again, this is coming at a very interesting time, because yesterday it was also reported that Alaska Airlines grounded all their flights, and they said this was due to a mysterious IT problem. And as of right now, they are still not saying what happened. Now, at the time of this recording, anything can change. They can come out and give an answer as to what happened. Matter of fact, as of right now, the flights are resuming. But reading this article from the Register, Alaska Airlines grounded itself due to mysterious IT problem. And as of right now, like I said, the airline has said nothing about the nature of the incident, but the Scattered Spider ransomware gang is an obvious target, as in recent weeks it has targeted airlines, perhaps even the Alaska Airlines' own Hawaiian Airlines, which experienced a cybersecurity issue in late June. The article goes on to say attackers have also clipped the wings of Australian Airlines Qantas and Air Serbia in recent weeks. They did? I didn't even hear about this. So what they're saying is that hackers are taking over these planes and causing these planes to clip one another. That's a very big issue. But Air Serbia and Qantas, they are also facing or have faced a data breach issue which impacted a lot of customers as well, which they are saying may be the same people involved in what's currently going on with Alaska Airlines. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this channel and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please like, as any engagement does help the channel grow. Once again, thank you so much for your support.